I'm just not sure if it's like actually capturing from my correct mic. So it might actually be the laptop mic, which is a bad mic, which is not what I want. So I'm gonna restart the screen because it's wasting. Okay, never mind. I think I'll just continue and then I'll cut later. But anyways, today we're gonna be covering how we did $3.1 million in revenue, achieved a 6.97 return on ad spend across a period of 24 months. And obviously you can see, I'm trying to go back to the old format which I did I think 2 years ago of live streaming, because I believe that the live streaming algorithm is better. Okay, anyways, the whole point is what I'll be sharing in this live stream, and you can also feel free to ask questions if you are watching this, is basically how we did $3.1 million in sales and achieve a 6.97 return on ad spend. And this is across 24 months, as you can see. This is the Shopify store. As obviously I blocked out certain things, right, like the name of the client and all that kind of stuff, because for NDA reasons, for non-disclosure agreement reasons, so just in case you're wondering, like this is completely edited or something, like this is a fake screenshot, I've just refreshed it to show you that it's not. As you can see, the numbers dynamically loaded across this period of about 24 months. And yeah, this is to show you that it's 100% real and not making anything up. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was in terms of how did we exactly get here. And one thing that I think is very, very underrated, across the business community and all the marketers and all the advertisers, is that they don't fully understand the importance of understanding the unit economics, right? So what I mean by unit economics is what you see on the screen is really being able to understand, like, okay, across my ad spend plus retainer fees, how much am I paying, right? Okay, wait, I think this is a bit, not sure if I can drag it down. Okay, so let me cover it properly. Okay, so you guys see this, right? Okay, so so this is the total number of clicks that we've gotten to achieve the results, and then this is the cost per click that we paid on Google Ads plus SEO combined, and then because basically what we did for this client is we did a mixture of Google Ads plus SEO, and you could see we track certain metrics here like EPC, right, earnings per click, and you can see the earnings per click is about $24. And then the total ad spend was about ad spend plus retainer fees from this 24 months period, about 447K, and the revenue that was being generated was this amount. And then we even took into account, like, let's say if we minus the cost of goods sold across this period, it's about 2.3 M. So then we went ahead to measure two different things, which is what's the return on ad spend and also what's the return on investment. So excuse me. Just in case you don't know what's the difference, right? Like, return on ad spend is basically your ad spend divided by your sales, and then your return on investment is your gross profit divided by your ad spend times 100%. So obviously then we have other things that we want to look at, which is like lifetime value, and as you can see, the lifetime value here across this period is about $108. Now, what does this mean? What does lifetime value mean? Lifetime value means how much is an average customer worth to you across this period, not assuming, but when they come back and repurchase, right? Because a savvy entrepreneur or savvy marketers would know that the profit is usually not in the front end. but the profit is usually in the back end, right? Meaning to say that you pay the most to acquire a customer, but when you pay that much to acquire a customer, you are actually profiting from the back end, meaning profiting from the repeat purchases, profiting from the email marketing, SMS marketing, push notifications marketing, or calling them to resell them stuff. That is where the profits are. That's what the savvy entrepreneur does. But more often than not, most advertisers and most marketers, they only care about the front end profits, which is like, oh, if I put in $1,000 this month, I gotta get back $2,000 this month. If not, I'm not gonna continue spending. But a savvy entrepreneur would think long term, a savvy marketer would think long term, and understand the numbers that I've described to you here. Because lifetime value is $108, and the average order value being $89, goes to show that the repeat purchase rate is roughly about 15%, or somewhere between 10 to 15%. So then the other thing that we're going to talk about is what we call the payback period, right? Because the payback period tells us how much, or rather how long does it take for the money soldiers to go back to push out, and then how long does it take for the money soldiers to come back to camp, right? In terms of I have spent 447k. Okay, it's gonna take 24 months for me to push this $89.27 in terms of an average order value up to $108.68 after 24 months, because they'll come back and buy again. But of course, only a sub percentage of those customers came back and buy, which is about 10 to 20%. As a result, that the lifetime value is $108.68. So this is basically what you need to know. Like, it's not sexy stuff, right? People find that this is boring shit all the time, but this is what you need to do to scale your Google Ads campaign, Facebook Ads campaign as well. And people don't talk enough about this stuff. They want to look at the sexy stuff, like the AI stuff, the live webinar replay automated stuff, but nobody talks enough about this. Understanding how to push your LTV up, and the job of every CEO honestly is to make sure that the lifetime value of a customer is worth more. Okay, I think there's 2 people watching now, but basically this is what we're looking at. We're looking at $3.2 million of sales across 24 months with a 6.97 return on ad spend. So we spend well over like $300,000 in Google Ads, which is, if you look at over here, ad spend is about 447k. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly bounce to the Google Ads dashboard so that you can see as well. Like, this is the cost between this period, 324k. Conversion value is 922k. Just in case you're wondering, like, this is some screenshot shit. Okay, I'm gonna refresh this. Okay, because gurus, faking shit all the time. But anyways, it's 100% real. You can see the cost is 324k. Conversion value is 922k. So it's on Google Ads, it's about 3x return on ad spend. But obviously, for this client, we kind of did a little bit of SEO for them as well. And with the SEO, you could see we lumped the calculations together. Obviously, we can separate the calculations, but for the purposes of this video, I have gone ahead to combine them with Google Ads plus SEO together. And that resulted in this earnings per click. This resulted in this return on investment of 5.23 in terms of gross profit. Okay, across a 447k marketing spend. We did both SEO and Google Ads, and then it spit out 3.1 million. Okay, so you might be asking, like, why is this 3.1 lower than the value that we saw here earlier, 3.2? Obviously, because the screenshot was taken a couple of days back. But so now we're going to cover like exactly how did we go about doing this, and I'm going to explain with this whiteboard. And how we went about doing it is very, very simple, and I think a lot of people overcomplicate this. Okay, so the first thing is you want to figure out, okay, one traffic source, okay, that is working, okay, and double down on it. Okay, so very early on for us, right, okay, we understood that in terms of Google Ads, okay, it was working really well. Like, for every $1 that we put inside the machine, it was spitting out at least $2 on most months. There are several months that we don't obviously get that positive return on ad spend or positive return on investment. But for those months, usually we try to lower our spend because it's a very kind of like, maybe it's a seasonal business, right? Whereby there are certain months that are better than the rest, and that's what we did. We figured out that Google Ads is profitable on the front end, and we gone ahead to double on that. Then the next thing that we did, right, was we used SEO to layer on top of Google Ads. And obviously there are a lot of other SEO videos that I have made in the past whereby I show you step by step how to optimize your title tag, your meta description, your on-page SEO, how to build backlinks, how to do all that kind of jazz, right? And then we use that to gather the residual traffic that people come through Google, right? Because keep in mind, when somebody types in to Google, right, there are a certain bracket of people that click on the ads, and there are a certain bracket of people that only click on the organic search results. And in this case, we want to capture both, right? Because maybe the total addressable market is too small. So we want to make sure that we capture both. And that's how we did it. We use Google Ads layer on top of SEO, and we managed to capture both. Now the next thing that we want to do is when it comes to attribution, right? Use a good software like ROAS or Wicked Reports or Triple Whale, right? Or whatever tracking software that exists. And if you're watching this video, like you're probably already like doing 5 figures, 6 figures a month for your e-commerce store, and that's where you really want to make sure that attribution software is really on point. Because, and I can see that there are 2 people watching now, so you can ask any questions that you might have if you're in the chat, or you can pop in and say hi. 3 people watching now. Say hi if you are watching this, just so that I know that you're here. So the attribution software, right, you want to use something like ROAS or Wicked Reports or Triple Whale. And the reason why is because Google Ads attribution is really quite bad. Because they take into account things like first click attribution, 30 days impression share, and whether it's Google Ads, whether it's Facebook Ads or TikTok Ads, like the attribution sucks because they will give you the wrong numbers, right? Like you can't optimize a campaign if you are operating on false data, right? You would just basically be operating blindly, and you'll be wasting all your ad spend, and you will start wondering like why is my store's revenue not matching up with the return on ad spend that I see on my Google Ads Manager or my Facebook Ads Manager, and that's very dangerous, right? So that's why we invested in a software like Triple Whale. I think Triple Whale works better for e-com. I think ROAS and Wicked Reports probably better for lead gen, but I might be wrong. I basically just use Triple Whale for this client, and it works fantastic, right? Because like I can see, it's my numbers that you see on the screen. Everything is tracking accurately. And for the 4 viewers that's on this live stream now, you could see this was the store that we were optimizing for. Across a period of 24 months, we did over $3.2 million in sales. I'm just going to refresh that for the 4 viewers that are watching and wondering like, oh, this thing is edited, this thing is fake, it's Photoshop, AI shit going on. But anyways, you can see 3.2, right? 24 months. Ad spend 324k, commercial value 982k. So nothing here is made up. I can refresh this again for you just in case you are wondering. For the 4 viewers that are watching, you can leave any questions, any comments. You can pop in and say hi, drop in your country flag of where you're watching from. So that's the attribution side of things. And then the next thing that we did, to really push this to the limit, quote unquote the limit, is to ensure that the website or the kind of the landing pages that the traffic is being sent to looks aesthetically clean. And you should shoot for nothing less than 4 to 7% conversion rate. Because anything that's lesser than like 4 to 7% conversion rate on Shopify, right? Will basically mean that like either the website just looks crappy and it's not branded enough, quote unquote, like aesthetically pleasing, or the navigation menu and the checkout page and all that kind of stuff is not easy to use, and the user experience sucks, right? So we managed to bump this up from 5 to roughly about 6%. Okay, and can you imagine, like, pushing it from 5 to 6%, right, is somewhere between like 15% increase, okay, in top line revenue, right, for all the traffic that you have driven. So you're gonna make sure that, like, just looking at conversion rate optimization, right, okay, is really the key. Okay, for e-commerce especially. Like, if you're doing like lead generation, I think like conversion rate optimization, yes, it's important as well, but it's especially so for e-commerce, because you are measuring the revenue pushing in, and then the revenue is spitting out straight out the gate. So it's even more important for conversion rate optimization on e-commerce. Of course, you can go and install your things like Crazy Egg, okay, or your Hotjar, right, to really push the CRO side, okay, and see what's making people bounce off, right? Like, in terms of people bouncing off the website because the headline is not attractive enough, the product doesn't look good, and which are the pages where people are dropping off. And this enables you, okay, to measure additional metrics as well. Okay, time on site, okay, bounce rate, okay, and then looking at, typically you want your time on site to be more than 3 minutes, okay, and then bounce rate, okay, typically less than 50%, okay, so somewhere like 40% is still acceptable, and anything that's less than 50% is fine, okay. So people have very short attention span these days, okay, but yeah, just looking at time on site, bounce rate across the whole website, record the behavior of people that land on the pages, which are the highly heat mapped portions and stuff like that. So that's when you can do that. And then the other thing that we also did, right, was with the excess profits that we've gotten, okay, we tried to cut on Google Ad spend, okay, and reinvested everything into SEO, okay, because we understand that the long-term game, okay, that we are playing is to ensure that the sustainability of the traffic does come from free traffic source. Of course, we want to continue spending on Google Ads, right? Like, if we could spend like 100,000 a month for Google Ads, we would definitely do that, right? But then we face other issues like the cost of inventory, the cost of manpower, the cost of fulfillment, delivery, whatever it might be, and all these add up into the cash flow side of things, right? And to want to scale up our ad spend further does require a lot more resources financially, and therefore I think at this current stage, like after scaling the store for about 24 months, we do kind of like feel it makes sense to go ahead and basically push some of the budget into things like your backlinks, things like your feature placements, things like your articles, right, internal linking of your articles, and that enables us to basically get more traffic through organic search. And also, not to mention, like, okay, after a certain period of time, like you don't want to wait, right? Like Google Ads, okay, yes, it's front end still profitable, but then you still need to wait for the payback period of 24 months. But for organic, it's different. Like, it's free traffic, like for in perpetuity, right? As long as you're maintaining the articles, the blog articles, the keywords that you're targeting, you're optimizing for things that people are searching for, then you're safe. Like, SEO works. So this is pretty much like, okay, the step 1 to step 6 in terms of everything that we did, and I think, yeah, you guys will probably have some questions as well, like, there's some things in between that I don't get, like how do you set up a Shopify store, where do you click to set up a Shopify store, what theme do you use? For whatever questions they might have, you can feel free to leave it down in the replay. I'll do my best to answer them. Although, yeah, actually, just leave any questions that you might have down below. This is exactly how we scaled the client with both Google Ads and SEO. For Google Ads, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about this, right? So, one thing that did all the heavy lifting for us for Google Ads is just ensuring that we target. At a point in time, Google Ads still had broad match modifier, right? So, like, we ensured that we targeted broad match modifier. So, like, at the start, okay, broad match modifier. Let me pull this. Oops. Oh, how do you extend this? Broad match modifier plus phrase match. Okay, but now, okay, broad match modifier is deprecated. So you no longer have broad match modifier, you just use phrase match. Okay, target all the high intent commercial keywords. Okay, i.e., if let's say you are like a plumber, for instance, then okay, plumber is not e-commerce. Sorry, what else is e-commerce? Let's say you're selling pencil cases. Okay, then you target something like buy pencil cases. Okay, pencil cases might be a bit too low ticket. Let's look at something that's more like higher ticket. Let's say water dispenser. Okay, so you want to generally target something like water dispenser, whatever the name of your country, right? Like for us, water dispenser Singapore. Okay, and then like maybe water heater Singapore, and then maybe water I don't know, toilet bowl. Okay, Singapore. So you target something that has the commercial intent to it, and generally you insert the name of the location that you operate in, because people automatically will understand that that's where you're delivering to, that's where you're operating in, and that's where I can get the highest quality of service, highest quality of product for myself. And when you target all the high intent commercial keywords with phrase match, the chances are the campaign could work. Okay, and then of course, adding in all the negative keywords whereby it doesn't make sense for you to use, okay, with broad match in negative keywords, right? And how adding in negative keywords is gonna help is in terms of just ensuring that people don't see your ads when you're typing in something that's irrelevant. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm typing, let's say I'm running an ad for to sell toilet bowls, right? Okay, then you definitely don't want that is typing in like toilet bowl cleaner Singapore salary, right? Like, you don't want somebody that's typing in toilet bowl cleaner Singapore salary. Chances are they want to be a toilet bowl cleaner. Okay, although I don't know what the odds of that are, but probably very low. But the chances are they're looking for a job. That's why they're looking at the salary, right? And therefore you do not want your ad to show up for somebody that's typing in this, because this person is looking for a job, whereas what you're trying to sell is you're trying to sell a toilet bowl. So how can you sell a toilet bowl to someone that's looking for a job to clean the toilet bowl, if that makes sense? I mean, it's not about if that makes sense, that definitely makes sense. So that's where you want to add in your negative keywords as well, right? And then the other one being like the bidding strategy. Okay, so the bidding strategy, generally you want to try CPC because Google Ads attribution is shit. Okay, Google Ads attribution is shit, and relying on smart bidding campaign optimizations are basically bad. Okay, and I know a lot of enterprise level accounts, people that go and use the stack adapt, or DV360, display video 360, and all that kind of things, like, it's fantastic, it's programmatic display advertising and all that kind of shit. Like, yeah, if it works for you, carry on, right? But I can tell, like, I have tried smart bidding optimizations and for these clients that account, and it's shit, because like at the end of the day, the machine learning is operating on the wrong data set, right? Like the return on ad spend is not even accurate at all. It's pushing the wrong return on ad spend into the machine learning because the attribution is wrong, and therefore when you're feeding the machine learning the wrong inputs, the outputs are also wrong. So I found that manual CPC works the best because the attribution by Google Ads default, right, is wrong. And you can say like they use enhanced conversions tracking and all that kind of things. Like it doesn't work. Like it's bad. Okay, like that's why high ROAS can sell his company. Like that's why Alex Becker can sell high ROAS for like $110 million. Alright, that's the truth, because there's value towards all the attribution software, and Google and Facebook, like they're probably trying to solve this problem, but just somehow it doesn't solve itself, right? Because of iOS and all that kind of things. Okay, so just take note of that bidding strategy, and then the next thing is really just ensuring that you create stack or SCACs, which is basically single theme ad groups or single keyword ad groups, right? Because you don't want to keep flooding the same ad group to the same landing page when they are of completely different categories. So the neater you can set up your campaign structure to make sure that in one single ad group there's only a single theme or a single keyword, it makes it hyper focused for that particular ad. Like the text on your responsive search ads will be a lot more relevant and a lot more the text on your responsive search ads will be a lot more relevant and a lot more targeted, and as a result draw a higher CTR percentage and a higher conversion rate. Right? So just making sure that your ad groups are of a single theme or are of a single keyword, this will create a lot more relevancy, and as a result make your overall campaign more profitable. So these are the Google Ads portion that we've done, but as I mentioned at the start of this whole video, right, like this whole stream, right, is even before we look at all these things, screw this first, and look at this. Just trust me, like I made enough mistakes in Google Ads to understand that all these things, it's important, but even before this, you want to make sure that you look at everything here first, right? To ensure that it's not just about the sending of the traffic, right? It's also about the holistic side of things, like the website. Is it like aesthetically pleasing? Is it converting? Is there product market fit? Are we focusing on just a single source of traffic and not like lumping it together with like multiple sources? Attribution is very, very important as well. So like at the end of the day, you want to look at all these things, right? When you select that marketing channel that you want to use at the start, like just dial in on that. Do not get like distracted by oh, my friend just introduced me to TikTok, I should look at TikTok. Oh, my friend just introduced me to Amazon, I should look at Amazon. Oh, my friend just introduced me to Shopee, Lazada, and I should use Shopee, Lazada, and like it's a never-ending cycle of you looking for shiny objects to use, which is annoying because you are not focused. You are getting distracted all the time, and that's why it's so hard for people to just sit down and get stuff done and get results, because you just need to sit down and focus on just one, and make it work, and stop getting distracted by all the shiny objects. So these are the lessons that we have learned to generate this client over $3.2 million of revenue across 24 months, while having a 6.97 return on ad spend, in terms of Google Ads plus SEO combined. And as you can see, these are the stats here. Again, 324,000 in, 922,000 out. This is just from Google Ads alone, but if we lump it together with SEO and all the organic traffic that exists, then that number is what we see here. But anyways, you can see I just refreshed it so that you know that we're not not doing shady stuff. 324k into the machine, and spits out 922k. That's it for this video. If you have any comments, leave it down in the replay. It will be automatically uploaded to YouTube. If you have any questions, follow-up questions, feel free to leave it down, and then I'll do my best to either A, make another video to answer your question, or B, reply straight away in the comments. And I hope to see you in the next one. So be sure to like this video, comment down below, subscribe if you like more content like this one, like a breakdown of a case study of exactly what we did, which is everything that you see on the whiteboard here. Okay, or would you prefer me to literally click on Google Ads, step by step? I mean, I could do that, but I think that's not the kind of content that I enjoy doing, to be honest. But I rather just share with you the high level stuff, and then you guys can go ahead and execute all these high level stuff, because it allows you to learn. Okay, whereas if I just spoon feed you, walking you through the where to click and what to click and all that, then those kind of things change all the time. You understand that, right? Like 6 months from now, the Google Ads Manager is going to look different from 6 months ago, and Facebook Ads Manager is going to look dramatically different 6 months later as well. So those things change all the time, but these are the things that don't change. These are the things that, once you understand the mechanics behind it, like, it's gonna be what is gonna take you to this stage. Okay, to this stage. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And I see that somebody just joined the stream, so say hi if you're watching this. You can go ahead and comment in the chat. But if you're not, then I will also end this video. So yeah, be sure to like this video, comment down below in the replay, subscribe to this channel. It does help me make more quality content just like this one. And I'll see you in the next one.